welcome to Coffee Time, sir. I'm so glad it's you when we're doing a Star Wars theme. You and I also work very close. And why don't you introduce yourself, Nick, to our flock?
Absolutely. So my name is Nick Edwards. Current title is Manager of Learning and Development for our Newmarket and Montreal office. So I work very closely with the global training team as well as the leaders of the Newmarket and Montreal sites to make sure that we can kind of take care of all things training, whether it's onboarding, whether refresher training.
When I seen that you were the guest, I was like, yes, we're going to have yin and yang here because I have very limited knowledge of Star Wars. I've seen a couple of films, as you are like, I'm a mega fan. It's probably the best way for it.
I mean, yeah. I think the worst part is a lot of my fandom comes from the parts of Star Wars that are like not the main 9 movies, right? A lot of the side spin-off shows.
That was one of my quiz questions. That quiz for your movies.
Oh. I mean, I do have a favorite movie still.
I don't know if you remember this, Nick, but we actually had a kick-off event a few years back, and it was Star Wars themed. Right? We all the leaders, you were probably part of it. We all purchased our own Star Wars outfits, right? And I was handed Han Solo, and I think Kenny dressed up as Chewbacca, if I remember. And I remember cleaning up after it, and I obviously the Han Solo outfit I put it in a pack, and I said, I'm just going to put that in a drawer. Never.
The dark side is intercepting Paul's connection.
Sorry, it broke up the connection.
No,
back.
I thought what you meant though. You put it in the drawer, you didn't think you'd use it again. 7 years later, you're hosting a coffee time in it. So funny part was, I was an agent.
There you go.
I was an agent in that kickoff. Yes, that was. I think that was the year I won Club Trip. Actually, 2015 kickoff for there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
When I was there,
wow.
I remember seeing the crowd. I was very sick at the time and probably shouldn't have been there. Just I'm not sick, just more like terrible. I'd just gotten over an allergic reaction that I'd had, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to kickoff today.
And one of your favorite themes, right?
Oh, absolutely, that's why I went. Are you kidding? I got out of the hospital at like 8:30 in the morning from the allergic reaction, and then went to the movie theater where kickoff was held.
I know your affiliation with Star Wars here, right? So why don't you tell the flock what's your all-time favorite moment in Star Wars and why?
Mine was a hot takes. A lot of people are like, the whole Luke and Vader fight. I was a big fan of, actually, to be honest, the pod racing from one of them, where it was the floating pods, huge machines, going through the canyons. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. One of my favorite video games of all time. That was probably the most influential because I think it's, like 20 years later and I'm still playing the game with my friends.
I'm not a massive gamer myself. It's been going around for years and years and years, the different types of games that you can play with a franchise like Star Wars.
Oh, it's huge. Everything from racing, RPGs, turn-based games. Like, it's so many different genres that they cover. It's fantastic.
As great as Star Wars has been historically in the film franchise and other aspects, are there any moments wherein you actually found disappointing or felt that it didn't actually quite live up to your expectations?
If anyone hasn't seen the new movies, it's gonna be a spoiler. On this one, so I apologize in advance. Maybe skip ahead 30 seconds if you don't want to know it. The return of Emperor Palpatine and the new trilogy of movies. I didn't think it was necessary. I think you could have done it without it. You had a whole villain that was created in that trilogy that didn't really get a backstory, that was voiced by Andy Serkis, who is an incredible actor and does a great job that they didn't really utilize as much. And I didn't feel necessary for Palpatine to come back.
I'm going to pretend I knew what you're talking about there when you said Palpatine.
It's the evil emperor in the original movies.
Ah, right, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, old guy shot lightning. Easiest way to explain him.
So he, on a counter-action, is there any, I suppose, underrated moments in Star Wars that I suppose you believe maybe deserve more recognition?
I do, and I was so happy that this year, or when did the camera when the Obi-Wan show came out? I want to say it was this year, but it might have been last year that they had it. But it was Hayden Christensen's portrayal of Anakin Skywalker as the adult versions through like the 1, 2, and 3 movies. So the second set of trilogy that came out for there, because he did a good job with it. The writing wasn't always the best, but he did a really good job with the character that was there, and everyone hated on him for it in the original trilogies. But then as soon as Obi-Wan came out, everyone loved him, because as time went on, they realized what had happened. He totally misunderstood from the original ones. He did a good job with what he had, so big one for me there. To anyone, just last tidbit of watching, go watch the spin-offs from Star Wars, the Clone Wars that's on Disney Plus. Sam Witwer does an absolutely incredible Darth Maul. He's probably the best voice character I've ever had in my life, minus the guy who voices Goku. I think it's Sean Schemmel or something, I can't remember. From there, but absolutely incredible job. They're great stories.
I don't know if I'll be able to persuade the wife for a Star Wars marathon, but I will do my best.
Well,
Maybe when my son gets a little bit older, I can use that angle. Right, he needs to get to watch Star Wars, right?
that was it. That's how my dad got me into it. We sat down and we watched the Clone Wars TV show for, I think it was like 6 seasons or something. It was long.
So Nick, thank you very much for attending today's coffee time, our Star Wars themed coffee time. It's fantastic to have you on and learn more about your passion to an amazing franchise. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your week. Happy Star Wars Day.
Happy Star Wars Day to you both as well. Thank you guys for having me. Have a terrific rest of your day.